Hi, I'm Matthew. I own Matthew Neal Photography. Thank you for joining me on this video. And if you find it helpful, then if you wouldn't mind pressing the like button and feel free to subscribe to this channel. I will be having other videos as well. Sometimes it'll be just thoughts on life, and most of the time it'll be about the photography, both as, maybe as a little bit of business, but definitely how to take better pictures. So, but today what I want to talk about, I put together a directory program. I've been involved in church directories for off and on for a long time, although I did get out of the industry for about 15 years while my daughter was growing up, and now I'm looking to get back into it. But I didn't want to, with all the digital technology that we have now, I didn't want to do the same old thing that just the what they call perfect bound, glued together directory. I just really thought that, you know, we can do better, and we can do a better job of meeting the needs of today's church. I think directories are important. It's a great way to build community. It's a great way to help people within the congregation to know each other better. One of the hardest things is when you don't know somebody, to approach them and introduce yourself. Something about fear. You know, at some point I'll do one of these videos about fear. It's probably one of the greatest things that keeps us from growing and from expanding. It keeps us in our comfort zone instead of getting out of our comfort zone. Helen Keller said, do something every day that makes you a little bit afraid. And I'm afraid that that's probably our biggest problem, is we don't do that. We don't do anything that makes us afraid. And believe it or not, sending these videos out as an email, especially since I don't have people saying, hey, send me an email and put a video on there. You know, it's scary. I don't know if you, as a pastor or a decision maker in your church, if you're going to get mad at me, which I mean, I know it's kind of ridiculous, but you know, the worst you're going to do is maybe yell at me, to, send me a message, say I don't want your emails anymore, and I'll delete you, and we'll each go our own way. I hope you don't. But, you know, it's amazing how fear keeps us from doing things that will make us successful. Anyway, back to what I've done with the church directory program. It's so much easier to put together a directory now, and so much less expensive, especially since I don't have to pay for the cost of film and processing. It really has brought my costs down. And it's allowed me to do some things that are unique. I was talking, though, with some churches as I've been trying to get this thing back on track. And one of the issues that has come up are the small, especially rural parishes and churches, where there might be 2 or 3 or 4, I've even seen 5 churches that share the same pastor or pastoral team. And it was brought up, well, what about us? How can you do a directory for us where each church feels like they are the most important? And I got thinking about that and what can I do? And also, you know, not everybody is into smartphones and computers and the internet. So what can I do about those people? You know, even with tablets and Amazon Fire and everything else, it turns out that hard copy books still outsell what's found online, digital copies. So what could I do for them? And what I decided after looking at all of my options, comb binding, wire binding, the perfect binding, I realized the answer was right in front of me. It's a little more expensive, but it's way more flexible, and that is to go with, for the hard copy portion of the directory, to go with a binder design. What's neat is the cover can be custom designed to however many churches are there, and we can design it in a way. In this case, this was a proposal I put together for a congregation. There are three Methodist churches, one of them celebrating their 150th anniversary, and so by putting them on the front cover like this, it lets everybody know that they are a part of the church, part of this parish under this pastor, and it gives them equal billing. As far as the order of the churches, that was just, I put it together in no particular order, just sort of how it fit together. So then when you open it up, and what's neat too about the idea of a binder like this is because it's a 3-ring binder, you can change, add, personalize. So if somebody wants to put notes in here, they can. If a lady wants to put recipes, this is something that can grow and change with the church. And yet it still retains everything from, in fact, I use this as a personal notebook. Back here I've got, paperwork of my own. If I'm out on a sales call about a church directory, I've got up here, I've got business cards, and I've got brochures about my directory program. It's all right in here. What's really neat is we can make it like different directories in each one can be like its own directory with the others thrown in. So we can literally, when you open it up, each church can have their own cover, and then their own title page, their own families of their directory, their own pastor's message, unless the pastor wants to have one message to all 3 churches. That's fine, we can do that. They can each have their own title page, and then their own staff page if they have a staff, or one staff page for all 3 congregations, or for however many congregations there are. And then each one can have their own activity pages. And then what I decided to do was for the divider page for the families of the congregation. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of, with all of the technology we've got, it just struck me it's crazy to do the same basic graphics that we've been doing when I've got access to Lightroom and Photoshop and other programs, and digital pictures. And so I went ahead and I punched it up a bit and added some photos. By the way, I was talking in my last video about why choose me, about green screen. All of these photos were done on a green screen, and then we chose the pictures that, or the background that the family wanted behind them. So we were able to do that. And then we have a couple of different formats. This format in the directory, you have the information right out beside the picture. So we're able on an 8.5 by 11 to lay out 4 families per page. So it makes the directory a bit larger, but we're able to have that information right there. And then we do have another option. Of course, we also have the birthdays and anniversaries listed, but then you can do the traditional which we have 12 photos per page with the names underneath, kind of the yearbook style. And then at the back you have the roster with names, addresses, phone numbers, and so on. Email addresses. Things are a little bit different than in the past. Now we have to have email addresses. And what's really neat about that is if somebody doesn't want it to be seen by everybody in the church, they can let me know that they want that to be private, and I will do that for them. It'll only be available to the church staff. It won't be available to everybody. And that's whatever information they want to make private. We can keep it private. We would ask that they give us the information so that the church staff has it. But, again, we're not going to force that issue either. And like I mentioned before, working with me, you don't have to have me photograph you to be in the directory, and you don't have to, if I photograph you, you don't have to be in the directory. So if there are family members or people in the community that you would like to reach out to, offer them a directory, the opportunity for a professional portrait, you can. And then the second part of this, let me set this over here. The second part of this is it's also on smartphone. So what you do is you're able, it appears on here, let me back this up. There we go. The families are all on here, and everything is hot linkable. So you're able, when you open it up, you've got the family, the picture, their names, and then you, just by tapping on it, it brings up their information along with their picture, and everything is hot linkable, whether it's their email, their phone number, or their address. So if you just press on, for instance, the address, it will take you to Google Maps. I've got Android, so it goes to Google Maps. Whatever map program you have linked in on your phone, it'll go to it. And from there, you can just navigate to their home. Phone number, you just tap on it, and it'll call them for you, or email. You just hit the email, and it'll send you to your email server, and you can type them a message. So it really, and then everything updates whenever a change is made. And I will be glad. I know that church secretaries are just overwhelmed. A lot of churches don't have anybody. I will be glad, at no fee or anything like that, I will be glad to be your directory liaison, the person that the people in your congregation can contact and have me update everything and help them with any issues they might have with the directory service. So we're able to update, whether it's quarterly or semi-annually or annually. We can keep things up to date for you. So that kind of in 3 videos I've tried to kind of have everything out there, give you some idea what I can do for you. I'd really love it if you would give me a call or reply. Again, it's Matthew Neal Photography. My phone number is 217-828-2891. Again, that's 217-828-2891, or nealephotography at gmail.com. And of course, if you're looking at this through the email I sent you, just go down to the bottom, hit the reply button, and you can reply that way. If you're looking at this on YouTube, of course, you can just scroll down, and there are hot links to my email, my phone number, and so on, and you can get in touch with me. I would love to talk to you. Keep checking back. I'm gonna keep this going, kind of a thought of the day as well as photography. I've been in professional photography since I was a kid, in photography one way or another. So, in fact, one of my first cameras was a Kodak Pony. So those of you that are my age or older, you'll recognize that and what a name Kodak was in the film industry and the camera market. And I know that kind of dates me. But I will continue to send these out probably on a weekly basis unless you tell me, go away, I don't want to hear from you anymore. I hope you don't. So anyway, until the next time, have a great day. Give me a call. Contact me if I can help you with any photography needs or directory needs. Let me know. And until then, have a great day.